Well, it blipped off, I don't know why. Local 445, 1975. And if you are an anchor motor child, did you go to a rodeo? You know, where they have to go through the pylons? And then when you started kindergarten, did they say describe your father's job in a drawing? Like, did you think, how do you do that with an anchor motor truck? And then how do you draw the front? Oh, please already. We never had drawing where I'm from. We are collages. And we are rocks, paint them, and you put these little things, and it's going to be an ashtray when you put it in the kiln. I have never, ever, they take more care in that penmanship, and each year we give them penmanship that goes to Albany. You know, not that I'm going to waste sleep, trust me. It's not only that I went to college for somebody that is smarter than me to use my social security number as identification. And I finally am sick of it, and I contact Social Security where they say it will destroy your credit. So now this institution called Maryland, I will bring a Royal Centurion Deluxe to college, not one typed paper. I'm going to worry about all of these handwritten. Why? I will sit on a campus where signatures are required for this Lagana, and there is a plaque in Pennybridge, Lagana. I don't care. And a drum roll for the dumbest question. I am 26 years old, and I am watching 18-year-olds give this a drum roll. I've never seen that. Cipher, where I'm still trying to get the construction workers, college students, bittersweet education. It's 6 pages. I now want the entire journal. Well, something on the internet, I can't even fathom it. But the humanity of history lessons. Local 445, January 75. Who doesn't support the American Legion? Anyway, so Reverend Brazier, I have to get to the Xerox. That was it. I have to get to Xerox. Oh, the roof man. Do you know how much roofing work was in 75? $175. Unfortunately, I don't have the electrician because what New York did, nobody wanted my house because there was an electrical upgrade requirement. All the outlets needed to be upgraded. Do you know how much money those electricians made? Do you know what this guy did? Because he made money from that. He will become a trustee and cheat on his wife. The judge cheated on his wife. All of these people are cheating. I just want my degree. I don't care. Oh, you didn't. Now you're going to tell me how I can write. I started out, all politics is local. There you go. Here we go. So Xerox is involved in this hearing. The Black Panther Party youth that was taken to testify said it was motivation. The teacher lacked motivation. They were trying to use a different concept. The leader of the gang, Fort, I guess, was going to teach. She was going to teach him, and he was going to teach them. And that's kind of like what was done in the Freedmen's Bureau. And it was what was done with the civics law and a Chicago project. They sent one away. She came back and taught many. Well, Xerox was involved in the creation of booklets. Weekly Reader Family Book Service, $15.20, 1974. Now, my mother will want to put us in pre-K. We are not poor. So do not tell me anything about my backyard. And I'm sure that either Senator Robert F. Kennedy or Senator Javits. Now, Columbus, Ohio. I will go to Xerox in Washington, D.C. I'm in their room with the counter. So the United Nations, after China, will get rid of that little counter. It was just there, no food, by the bookstore that had participatory democracy workbooks, at least 3. I wanted something else and they were gone. Hillary comes back from China. Now, I think we were there for Docutech. Don't ever do this. If you are a salesperson, do you know you're nothing because you're still documented to the federal government as a clerk. And if you are somewhere and you say you were this, they are going to, oh, don't. You see how smart they get, acting so stupid when you knew them. You were a clerk. Clerk. You are getting Docutech sales. They got Docutech training. Do you know how much a Docutech trained person makes once they leave? Probably nothing less than $32 now if you're working for a law firm. The ability, alpha or beta testing, for it to go from your office to a queue, it hadn't been perfected. So now we're in the Xerox. Oh, like I said, they should have given me that. Docutech training. Instead, scan once, print many. Preserve your original. 1973, Weekly Reader Family Book Service. Oh, I know. Less government. This man doesn't have a job. Oh, I'm sorry. Because he pays his union dues and the liquor people give him a job in October at the end, so he has Christmas money. So the big guy who plays volleyball, yeah, I played volleyball. Dig, so there is no, it's not only less government, there's no knee shin pads. And that's a hardwood floor and I'm digging. This guy, he doesn't even say I roamed these same halls before I became history teacher here. You want to say we shared the same school, Washington Irving? Why don't you throw in some Capuchin convent? Dig, Sophia. For your mess and Nardullo's mess, fascism was Italians giving poor people clothes. Is that what it was, Nick Nardullo? And you sent your son to Duke based upon that? Really? Toothpaste is a conglomerate. Is that what it is? The Huntington National Bank, Columbus, Ohio. Xerox Education Publications. Xerox Family Service. Yeah. I don't think that I needed somebody to... Look, I don't need a child within. I know the child. What are you pushing this shit for, people? I kind of have Xerox all around me, don't I? Well, he is now crumpling up the paper and throwing it into the garbage can, saying I worry too much. Worry about what? Paying my bills? I'm interested in this Jenny Clarkson home. Is she related to Kelly Clarkson? I'm just curious. December 1975, $2. The County Trust, St. Christopher's, Jenny Clarkson Child Care Services, St. Christopher's School, Jenny Clarkson Home for Children. Somebody got sick. Somebody got really sick in 1969. Phelps Memorial Hospital Association, 34135. Who do you think it was? Do you know they've taken my medical records from the atrocity? How far back? Does it go to when I was on an incubator and stayed there for 10 extra 14 days? How far back did you send psyops to Georgia? Now it appears that psyops is here. I need my hands. Just my physical therapy. Oh, come on. Do you know, I should be doing physical therapy 6 hours a day. You think the finger ones? Oh my God. And the toes? Scrunching up the towel? That takes 25 minutes. The hands is 2 hours. I got 2 of them. The putty, I don't know what happened. It's air conditioned. It not only exploded, it exploded onto a legal document, not a printout. See that? You can't find that putty. So it comes, psyops. Now I need to know something, and every other country is a blue link, except the one I need, America. Then I get rolled over to South Africa. She's as bad as Ancestry.com, who walked in to offices and copied our documents, including Ellis Island. They are now making money, and this woman has the nerve, which today I have to re-sign up. I only want the same program that I was on. It doesn't, if that was a special 4 months, $75, it doesn't matter. I just want the name because I was satisfied with the service. And this Irish lady, I'm giving you jobs. And I think either Moynihan or Kennedy gave you like Metropolitan Life Insurance or a drug company. She was beyond, we don't offer that. I said, on Mother's Day 2 years ago, I got 5 days free. Mother's Day. Unless I'm gathering information for you guys and it's saved on your side, because everything I do, anything I do is important. That was Huey Newton. And that was also syndicated columnists. Where is the syndicated column placed in the next newspaper? Because the lady came into Kinko's and she said, I would like that juxtaposed. And I said, I will do it if you tell me what it is. Next to each other. Not Momosha. She is beyond evil. And I will contact the Attorney General's office of that Utah. No, they don't care. So basically, this South African will say, what time would you like that email? And I will say to her, you know that emails don't need a time. And then I say to her, how is that apartheid victory, truth and reconciliation working out for you? Because if you don't speak up for what are your rights, you're going to lose them. And I pretty much live in a country that had them. Not you. Yeah, so anyway, this Xerox and this McClellan, it works out perfectly. And I can't help. If you look, that's a SWOT analysis. What can you still think like some kind of a machine? So what? You got a machine. The dating game had a machine too. It was a big computer. So that doesn't make your side look stupid? Sure it does. Doesn't it? So this Spelling, he was on Bonanza. Did you ever see that episode? That's him, Aaron Spelling. He's an extra or something. The guy who wrote a book and promoted it at the Nixon Archives with Christy McNichol. He will drop out of college. His father, Matthew Broderick's father, is not happy about that, but finally he gets a job at like a dating service company. He's like Barbara Miller, but they're not movie stars. They're dating people. Now, it's one thing. Oh, don't. Glass ceiling didn't exist. It's the Glass-Steagall Act, 1937, balloon payment around Jimmy Carter's time of the embargo to Russia, and Russia gets grain. So that's money. Welfare, great society is money. The cheese is money to the dairy. The milk is money to the dairy. Now, why doesn't the meat industry want some of that? Not bacon. Bacon's bad for you. And I don't want to hear it, because then again, red meat ended up being bad too, didn't it? You should have spoken that way to begin with, but no. You wanted to confuse the mind of a child. That's it. And that's your business. You did it. You can't take it back. The head honcho. When did change management occur? We're going to do it small first? Or is that your test cases? Yeah, I think I went to college. I think Elliot said when I said I would like to see those records. No, you don't. They have written horrible things about you and you will never want to see it. You lost the box? Were they redacted? How do you know that word, Sophia? Because the guy came to my counter and he said, let me redact my psychology records for my patients. So now, I'm sorry. Okay. The name that will rename nameless. So this racism. Now, we know from the Office of Economic Opportunity, and we know from the Kahn oral history that Shriver wanted something productive so he could look good. She says they were turf wars. She says it was never for the people. She says it was plantations. The government books in the White Plains Law Library, any property purchased from Maryland is in the book. Why isn't it every other place in the United States of America? Why is it just Maryland? Why did the government just do Maryland? There should have been other cities in the country. Those records are gone because I can't. This is a new library now. You don't bother me. If you experienced racism, who did it to you? Well, I'm assuming similar to Walmart today, doing blockchain. That was a free 7-week course, courtesy of San Jose. Walmart has logistics blockchain. You can start out as a cashier and you're going to blockchain. So this service merchandise that was the Marshall Field that has its zip code on the water, churches converted in Baltimore, the hospital, it's now condos. And I said when I had to get my blood pressure taken, because I went to the Yum Yum shop for a now and later that I thought had glass in it, I said to Officer George Washington, who was black, but I don't care, you can name yourself whatever, can you please boil some water, Officer Washington? I know you might have expected another reaction. Why? You didn't get it. Boil some water, please. If it melts, it's sugar or crack, right? But it's not glass. They won't do anything. Did they even take the now and laters out of the Yum Yum shop? Well, my boss will bring Finnish taffy from Finland. And I thought it was the taffy, but it was my crown. The Finnish taffy got rid of my cement from the dentist across the street who leaves his sports car in the Kennedy Center because he has so many tickets. Figure that one out. Why? Where do you live? And he's got a full mouth x-ray. The machine just came out. It's like, 88. And he keeps them in his house. Why are you telling me that? Do you know how many full mouth x-rays I have all over the place? Well, he said I needed 2 crowns without a root canal. I said, pull it. I don't want to see you eating as a chipmunk in a restaurant one day. One day. That never happened. Every time there's a payment, he's at that counter. I've not missed 7 payments before. Now I'm going to go to UMBC. And I say, let me get the teeth all worked out. He files a crown. It's not a filling. I have a file broken in this root canal. What are you people doing? Playing Partridge Family with my mouth? Oh, please. I don't doubt it. So this service merchandise mart, I'm assuming there was more, a greeter, another elevator operator. Oh, the newspaper man, Mr. Gross, owner of Banner, the championship dog at the Madison Square Garden. I married the elevator operator, Sophia. Anything in that building. So basically, who was the racism? The Chicago Daily, the ward boss who stood over you and told you how to vote? Well, making somebody crippled to make them a Democrat, I think that's far worse. And an ethno-violence study. You know you can't get out of it. What are you going to say? Nothing. You're going to say nothing. If this Richard Shore and Oprah did not say that this David Jacob, oh, I don't remember Mary Hart ever saying it. Because you have Barry Levison, Baltimore, John Waters, we all know Baltimore. This is not a matter of an apology. You have Calfee's Imaginary Social Worlds. When was that written? You're going to send that Sandy Patton to UMBC with some stupidity. Subject over object. You have economics degrees and subject over object out of context. You go do that. That's beyond disgraceful. Then you want equity, inclusion, and diversity, and the plantation god is the creator of your problems, and you have the nerve. What did I say at that hearing? Your people don't want to pay for the test site, and you've built them a place. My librarians refuse to be the proctor. I have to pay for the Huntington Learning Center and get on a bus. Because you're Mr. Habrowski and his sidekick Gus Mitchell. And every other teacher. This Dr. Marjolina Cars, oh, did you not get a letter? It's been my experience when a student has a problem with another professor, I don't get involved. Well, the nameless lady, she says that there was racism. So who gave it to you? Daly? Who gave it to you? Shriver? Or, I don't know where anybody was at that time as far as college. CBS? CBS owning parts of New York, whether it was Channel 11 and the Daily News? Nobody knew in the New York Times quizzes that began in 1980. You want to say that you're in a relationship with the Washington Post? The International Herald Tribune since 1963 up until 2000? This is not on me. And I'm not accepting an apology. And do not tell me what words to use. That was a supermarket. You created the word. That is your future. And everything that was done to me, do not. There was a Department of Justice grant. They are now going to that law to learn law in law chairs. So don't, please. You've done nothing to me. Really, you haven't. Number one, my library was my library, and I will buy back all the books my father bought. Science, Raintree. I want the same editions. You know, the ones I took to MoMA and every other museum. I want my American history in drawing. California, I found that too. I bought the Encyclopedia Britannica, American history, and I bought the editions because it was a set. Don't make me go get the box. It will go with politics. No, not politics, powers, and pressure groups. Labor and farmer parties in the United States. You have done nothing to anybody. What you did, really? You confused people on purpose. What is this? This Fitzgerald, he promotes drinking. And then Cheers. And then my super shuttle bus driver, Sophia! How do you know me? There was no little picture. Then he's going to take me around Boston. People are very nice to me all the time. Founding fathers, big. Why didn't Cheers ever walk outside and do that? I'm just telling you, if your dollar does not go to a bar, you'll lose a job. If you don't gamble a little, you lose a job. My godfather cashes the General Motors checks. There's enough in the till for the graveyard shift. And it's in the New York Times. Pete the Greek. So, family values was never promoted by the Fitzgeralds. I doubt it. I don't care about the liquor bootlegging. I don't care about the rest of the docks and FDR went to the docks and fell. I don't care about the talkie. Did they own Los Angeles property when he went there? Or was it in New York, that New York, Hollywood, and Astoria? How far did Joe have to go? I'm just... See, because my father will say he played the violin in New York City. They took him. Which I always thought it was Astoria, Queens, but it might have been just that, 8th Avenue, wherever, which he's dead now. I can't seance him. We don't know. So they moved the MoMA when they're making the other one bigger, and now I'm in Queens, and MoMA, there's Swing Line. Who remembers the day that nameless, whoa, there's a swing line going right by my nose. He doesn't get sent home 1 week without pay or 1 month without pay. Now I'm wandering a little further. Noguchi was not happy to see Sophia. What's the matter, Noguchi? Yeah, so one of you, and I think it might have been the VO Key, all right, no, it was James Q. Wilson. He will do the using Chicago, his thesis. Yeah, this is very interesting. So basically, in your SWOT analysis, as educated graduates of Ivy League institutions, you chose not, but vote for him. And then they all stood behind Biden. Biden, the empty chair. Which empty chair? From a drunk driver that hit your child? So they try to harpoon me. I park my... Listen. My father never wanted us to drive. He will drive us everywhere we need to go. Well, I come back with a driver's license courtesy of the state of Maryland because the state ID will not work. Well, somebody will say, you didn't take this job. It's not in your job description to drive. What do I do with my car? I go to the Mount Vernon Carnegie Library and fill it up. I have Thomas Sowell. I have every Dewey Decimal. If it is not put in the Dewey Decimal, then it is a big problem. Whether it be African American history from Africa, or whether it be civil rights or whatever. If it is not a category, it changes. You didn't know that? Finding that hard to believe. Well, I've parked the car in the parking lot, and I'm going to walk up the hill. And now they try to run me over, and he's got a big sharpoon, the trees shearing. Now I say, let me go back and make sure I locked all the doors because these people are nuts. Now he comes back again. I flag down a policeman. They flee the police. For 3 miles, they flee. And then they go hide in the Hilton. Well, I go to the police bulletin section of the Gannett, Terrytown. It's not there. It's always there. Things are there. It's called the police bulletin. I call up the police. Why isn't that incident there? Now it's there. All 3 of them were drunk. Well, shouldn't I have been there? Now I call up Mothers Against Drunk Drivers. Why shouldn't I? That's what they were created. Well, now, these people in transportation that my Medicare card pays for, they aren't letting me buckle. So you know what I learned? Leave the door open. They can't move until you buckle. But I said a week ago, I have played this game for 30 years. I'm not stupid. We are where we need to be, and things are going to get worse. Not for me. They're going to get angry. Well, I called for the bus. Darling. Oh, nobody's called me darling. Hun, and that's... because it's honorary Steny Hoyer, honorary, 7:05 is the last bus. No, it's not, because I called after waiting 15 minutes. I call the one cab company, and then I'm doing my work, and I don't hear the beep, 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 beep on the text. Then I call. Now it's a computer. Hi, Sophia. We're having a hard time. Now I call again, and no, we don't have, it's still a computer. When this started with another transportation company, now we're back to Medicare. Are you in a safe place? You're going to okay unsafe places? Now I say, forget this, I'll use the other cab company. He wants a physical address. I get the physical address from the tape recorder, and it's not right. I said bye to the both of them, and I walked home. Please, I've been on my own a very long time. I have walked from University College to 2210 Amherst Road at 9:30 at night with a can of soup in a bag. A park that goes down at least 2 miles, and I hear music and no one bothers me. You cannot. That student policy, Maryland Student Service Alliance hypothetical, it's never going to change. I will go to the enterprise zone where the professor does not state that is an enterprise zone, Dunbar High School. I will speak with the class advisor. I will explain to him that it's a hypothetical. He understands. He signs on. I will do the policy. I'm all of the people. She tells me about the St. John's Male School. She welcomes me into her house. The Korean deli owner gives me the history of that electronic debit machine, which Marion Wright Edelman didn't put in Baltimore City was the test site for the Children's Defense Fund 1993 that I paid for. Then the boy who works in her bookstore, go around the corner. There's more. And I will buy the little book, Red, the tax, how to explain the tax base to your children. Now I forgot what I was going to say, and we have to wait. Punk way. That does suck. Anyway, the Korean deli owner will say that I pay for the ink, I pay for the receipt tape, and when it zeroes out, it's not one shift. Like when you worked in a supermarket. He does not say, I think that somehow, because it's the same person at the same time being the last or the first person. Now, they said on the news that there were a problem in the Korean delis in Los Angeles. I mean, the whatever you call them, bodegos, those are Spanish, but whatever. Is that the problem? I will go to the lady who says her father says, if you don't know science, you're no good to the ghetto. She will say that the professors, they left. Which flight was that? Before or after the riot? She will say the people who stole the copper and the stained glass, they weren't from here. So the success of the city portion, what was lacking, oh, I'm sorry. I'm learning all of these words for the first time. Not, my relatives are professional. But once that convertible, gone. Nikki don't have no more convertible. That's all right. Who needs a second grade teacher? Dr. Nelson was so much better. Kindergarten. Studying to be a doctor, not a stupid. Now we're going to move on. I'm canvassing the new policy school. William Donald Schaefer. Wow. I'm going to get an interview. And I did, but he canceled the first one. The second one, he was 45 minutes late. And then the first guy out looks like my ex-boyfriend. That's okay. I've seen that face before. And that little... Politics is a dirty business, isn't it? It is. Now everything is fine. He loves it. But we still don't know the word. I say, save your analysis. That will be your own statistics. Not archive. That you want to archive it. Everything is fine. I know all the right people, and I'm sure he did. His housing person is from Montgomery County, that lady. No Flynn. No John F. Kennedy, Montgomery, 7 neighborhoods. No board of the AFL-CIO. No all of the religious organizations on the letterhead. I know all the right people. And let's not forget that Montgomery College is the nursing health. That's where they stuck that. I reach into my pocket and I should have asked the other questions first. What was it like going to the University of Baltimore law schools with all of those acts and FDR and no, because I opened up my mouth and then, oh, he was mad. And then the Montgomery County lady came from wherever and, do you need to regain your thoughts? It said Mayor William Donald Schaefer. Well, he had become governor, comptroller, professor, but it was beautiful. It was as if somebody shined it. There was no cement that was exploded like the picture of the red condemned. How on earth do you get cement? And why doesn't Nancy Grismack, whose husband was in the cement business and she did education during that time period of 95, why didn't anybody call her up and say, hey, how'd that happen? Well, we'll never know because he got very angry. It could have been because Latrobe was close to that. Latrobe with the amortization in 1995, November, that's an active document. 45, 50-year amortization. Learning contract. I would like the definition of amortization. I have the following exchanges between the Baltimore City Council and the person, or exchange from Baltimore City Council to Baltimore City Housing. These 5... I may have not even said the royal stamp. It doesn't matter. He gave me Rachel and her children, Dr. Gus Mitchell. You recycled a welfare hotel. You made it a condemned building. Who made the money? You charged the government. Who'd you make rich? Beyond. They better have at least have been from this country. Was it alien property? Because as I said, we're going to do the next batch of Kerners. It's not cheap. But first, I'm interested in that media in Poughkeepsie. Because the Chicago media plan from the Human Relations was to prevent violence. Responsible journalism. When was the CBS ever responsible with Han Rahan? The lady who was in Equal Justice in Hyattsville that required a taxi. And the Jamaican guy said, I will find it. They're singing Christmas carols in July, putting down a floor that was probably picked up by tax dollars. She's retired and works for some Catholic organ. You're Han Rahan that signs the bottom. Oh, I know. They were ransacked. Well, I still have my copies that you gave me. Everything Mumia, we've gone back to South America. to mess it up as big as Sergeant Shriver, leave Office of Economic Opportunity, because now he's the Peace Corps. Well, according to Bill O'Reilly's interview with that priest whose brother was the Italian mafia but died about 4 years ago, in his discussion, there seems to be a lot of problems back then. The MoMA movie says in Spain it's the Spanish mafia in the church. But this Peruvian priest, there should be an entire thing that says this is going to be a problem. These people are not united. They are further disunited by Vatican II because Latin is not the religious, and there could be various dialects. I'm sorry. Did I burst a bubble? That's not nice. As Billy Joel says, you Catholic girls start much too late. Poor Billy. He'll be fine. You know what? Here's what I'll do. Did the Peace Corps go to Peru? I'll just find that person and take that person with your Peace Corps and Robin Morgan's Sisterhood is Global, her Peruvian expert, but maybe she didn't even put those countries. Oh, wouldn't that be something? You really think I'm going to go all over? Why? That's what you wanted by not saying you need Katzenbach, Assistant Attorney General, Civil Rights Division, which Murphy under Franklin Roosevelt as Attorney General before he made him Supreme Court. Yeah, I understand. Not my problem. Sorry. All right, I've taken so much time in the other one, BLIP, that's like a lot. And I'm not putting anything, really. My hands are numb. I don't want to talk into the computer. I've got to talk to Hewlett-Packard because all of these little discs or whatever are one paper backup. The backup was free. Oh, I think they told me inside this New York Public Library that a Kennedy owns one of these buildings outside. I don't care. This guy, there was an Office Depot or something, and I needed to back up the computer. No, well, he said back it up. So I know Best Buy, that costs like $200 now. Oh, it was free. So I know I backed it up on one of these hard drives. I'm sure he backed it up too. Oh, don't you get this too when you walk past a payphone? A black homeless person? You need another credit card? No, I'm good. Thank you. Oh, those poor black people that got on that Greyhound bus to New York. Do you think they had a good life? I don't. I think they became the fodder for all of those hospitals. And then I think they tested cow milk on bones. Have a good day.